Now, I have emerald armor and this random end sword. I don't think that this guy stands a chance. Okay, he actually was supposed to do a lot more damage than that, but this isn't so bad. There's 3 of them! There's 3 of them! The End update was the first major update to Skyblock, and is where endgame players spent most of their time until dungeons. This update's most major shift was making armor's roll to add damage rather than just defense. So basically, the emerald armor I spent 40 hours grinding for last episode is now useless. But I still want to wear it for a little longer, so I'm gonna go do some things before getting into combat. The first thing I wanted to catch up on, especially with the new island being unlocked, is fairy souls. Back in the day, these would constitute half of your health and give you a fair amount of strength as well. These stats have since been reworked into the level system, which has resulted in a lot more health and strength for players that have done a lot of the game's content. Though when confined to Skyblock release and the End, I'm barely seeing any stats from levels. These fairy souls barely help as they only add 10 XP for every 5, moving me from level 19 to 22. Next on the agenda was to collect a few more enchants for my sword. The critical enchant is in the diamond collection, but I didn't care to mine 5,000 diamonds, so I just set down a minion. Next on the list was critical and first strike, taking a whopping 5 minutes of breaking gravel. I still knew I wouldn't do enough damage, so I spent 100k to get a tier 1 gas minion from someone to apply giant killer. All that I had left to do was grind some levels and apply them to my end sword. Alright, this end sword is now fully enchanted. Let's see how much more damage I can do. Oh wow, that's quite a lot. Oh man. That was like 5 shots or something. Time to do that like a million times until I have ender armor. With my end sword enchanted and ender armor acquired, I looked to add more damage with talismans. The End update added the Stonk, which is an efficiency 6 golden pickaxe, which allowed me to instantly break stone and quickly get the haste ring. Next, I moved to the top of the spider's den and battled the broodmother for a spider talisman. After that, I returned to the End and raced Goober for his pig's foot. I was now 2-shotting Enderman, but to be able to get more damage I'd need a big upgrade, though that required me to kill a lot more Endermen. After 5 hours of killing Endermen, it's finally time to craft the aspect of the End. Alright, now with this ender armor and my end sword, I was doing about 3,000 damage on a crit. But over here, with this aspect of the End, same ender armor, boom! I can do 5,000 damage. I really have no idea how I'm gonna hit 13,000. I realized almost immediately after I recorded that clip that I wouldn't be one-shotting zealots with an AOTD. Though I did decide to farm potatoes for 2 hours so that I could apply the maximum hot potato books and at least 2-shot zealots. I was farming for eyes slowly, but finally making progress towards the endgame. Firstly, I needed an aspect of the dragons. This weapon will finally let me one-shot zealots and was the best weapon when this update was released. Besides the 50mm Midas, but I don't have a money-making method, so this was out the window. The first dragon I summoned was a wise dragon. I wasn't so disappointed at this since wise armor is alright, and I could still get an AOTD. All I got was pants though, which is what it is. Next dragon was a protector, which is the absolute worst dragon. The armor isn't even useful, though I did still have a chance at getting an AOTD. Unfortunately, I had the worst outcome and got fragged. Next dragon was yet another protector, but this time I at least got an armor piece. Dragon number 4 was another wise which died instantly, and... oh, let's go! An AOTD! I finally got the aspect of the dragons, which finally pushed me to be able to one-shot zealots. It was now time to work towards the last part of this challenge, armor. You spawn a dragon with 8 summoning eyes. Any player can place any amount, but the optimal is for 2 players to split the summon 4-4. Once the eyes are placed and a dragon is spawned, it can be one of 7 different types. All have an equal chance of spawning, with the exception of the superior dragon. At the bottom of the power scale, there are the protector and old dragons. Their armor only gives defensive stats. The old dragon armor being slightly better, which is why earlier I said that the protector dragon is useless. The next tier are the situationally useful dragons. Young dragon armor gives speed, which is useful if you want to go faster, like farming summoning eyes. The wise dragon armor is useful for not just giving a large amount of mana, but also reducing ability costs on items. Finally, the best dragons are the ones that give damage stats. The unstable dragon is the weakest of the 3. The armor gives decent crit damage, but its damage stats are lower since it's mostly supposed to be a source of crit chance. The final 2 dragons are basically equal in damage. The strong dragon armor does typically do a little bit more damage, making it the most powerful of all the dragons. Strong is also a bit nicer since it's one of the 6 dragons with an equal chance of spawning. The final dragon that you can spawn is superior. This armor is very well rounded and gives you a boost to all stats. For this challenge, I'll be considering the endgame having a full set of either the strong or superior dragon armor. Eventually, I'll get both, as for future updates I'll need to do a lot more dragons, but this is a worthy goal for this update. I recorded that last clip a little bit over a week ago. So 30 hours and a sore clicking finger later, strong dragon armor was acquired. This is my 3rd full set of dragon armor, and I'm just glad I didn't get all the other sets before it. Let's break down all the loot and my atrocious luck. Out of the 15 dragons I fought, not including to get the first AOTD, I got 5 unstable dragons. 3 of those 5 dropped a chestplate, which would have been cool back in 2019 trying to get profit from dragons, but I wanted unique pieces. I also got leggings and another AOTD. The next highest dragon spawns I got were protector, of which I spawned 3. I dropped a helmet earlier grinding for an AOTD, and these next 3 dropped the rest of the armor set. Super lucky if it weren't the absolute worst armor. Speedrunning through the boring ones now, I spawned 1 young that gave me pants, 1 old that dropped a chestplate, 2 more wise that dropped another AOTD and a warp scroll, which actually is kinda sad. I wanted some wise dragon armor. On to the interesting dragons. If you're keeping up with the math though, that's just 3 left. I spawned only 1 superior dragon and was extremely excited to get an armor piece, but it just dropped a claw. At least it wasn't useless though, and I actually did make money. This left the last 2 to be strong dragons, which may have you wondering how I'm wearing the full set right now. Well, I got pretty lucky and dropped leggings and a chestplate, which are the most expensive pieces. I had quite a few frags though, just from being in end lobbies, and could almost craft both pieces. I decided instead of gambling anymore, I was going to lobby hop and leech from much richer gamblers until I had enough frags to craft the whole set. With full strong dragon armor, I can call myself endgame. Although this video did take another 40 hours, I actually did expect it to be longer. Please subscribe so you don't miss the Slayer update.